Welcome to Boots in Baltimore. I'm LeeAnn Blanchard. I'm here with Jean Zachariasiewicz at the 26th Street Green. Welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you for this brilliant idea of doing it outside. This is a gorgeous space. So excited.
Thanks.
So this park is really a grassroots community success story.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about how it came to be?
Sure. So a couple of my neighbors, it was more people on Guilford, so Calvert's that way, Guilford's that way. When the CSX retaining wall almost collapsed here a few years ago, so that was in the fall of 2018. We had construction here for a long time, and they started thinking about, well, what could we do differently here? So they started lobbying with the city and with CSX to try to have a community space here. This was largely led by Megan Ames and Kyle Fritz, but there were other neighbors involved as well. So for a long time, we just had the street half cut off. This used to be a throughway. And it was just the concrete here, but it was actually a godsend during COVID because when all the playgrounds were closed, everybody came out with their kids all the time for biking and scootering and just being able to do something. And they had a bunch of community meetings on trying to figure out, what do we want? Do we want grass? Do we want pavement? Do we want some mix? And we decided we wanted it to still be, it had to remain a throughway because it's technically a street. So pedestrians and bikes had to be able to get through. But we had all come to realize we really liked kids being able to be here on wheels. And we didn't necessarily want grass we had to maintain.
Right.
And so they hired an architecture firm. The city paid for that. And I think CSX contributed to design what you see here. So we have all of these planters and seating. This is a stage. So when we have community events, if there's a band or something, the band's on the stage. And then still all the space for people to either use as a throughway going from one place to another, or for people to hang out. So kids ride bikes and scoot here all the time when the weather is good. They can do chalk. We have sprinklers in the summer. There's just a lot of options. So it's been a really great, totally different space, I think, than you usually find, but it really brings people together.
I think that's amazing. So it seems like you're doing community events. It's not just for people casually. You mentioned concerts. What other types of events do you guys do?
So the space has a board, and as a board we put on block parties, I would say 2 or 3 times a year.
Wow.
And usually we have some kind of entertainment, some sort of music, whether it's a DJ or a band. We have food. We've had food trucks. My neighbor over there is a master barbecuer, so he'll often set up and sell his sandwiches. We give out ice cream for the kids. We have bubbles. And then we also have done a lot of partnering with other local organizations. So the Village Learning Place is a community center over on St. Paul. They do a lot for the youth in our community. So when they have, like, they call it Spooky Harvest at Halloween, we're one of the stops on Spooky Harvest.
Oh.
And we've done other events with them where we sort of set up a table here as part of whatever they're doing. There's a train, so sorry if you can't hear me. It's another part of the entertainment here for little kids. We have done some things with the 29th Street Community Center, I think. And then coming in 2 weeks on May 13th is our second annual plant sale. So that's an event we have here, and it's our main fundraiser for the year. So we sell plants, lots of natives, but both annuals and perennials, not all natives, and we use the proceeds to support the upkeep of the space. And then about 2 or 3 times a year, we have garden days where we ask people to come volunteer with weeding and mulching and planting and all of that. So those are the main events I would say that we sponsor, but just about anytime anybody asks us if we're interested, as long as it works with the kind of stuff we do, we're into it.
That's great. So when is the park open?
Since it's technically still a city street, it's never closed. We ask that you not be here kind of making noise outside of, I would say, 7 or 8 a.m. to around 10 p.m. because there are neighbors.
Yeah, it's a neighborhood park.
Yeah, exactly.
People live right there.
Right, exactly. So we ask just that people respect the people who live nearby.
That makes sense. So how did you get involved?
You know, I don't even exactly remember. I live almost next door. So my backyard gate is on that alley right there, the second gate up. And I was here all the time with my kids, and I started to hear that people were trying to figure out what they wanted to do with the space. So I went to some meetings, and then I just started becoming more active because I was really interested in what they were going to do.
Because
and
it affects
also,
you.
It
It's
totally
right here.
affects us. Right. Exactly. So I wanted to see, like, well, what are they going to do? Because I wasn't sure at first, like, is that a good idea? Do we want to park? Because I didn't want a sort of grassy space that we had to maintain.
That would look run down later.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I've seen that happen in the city a lot. But then this ended up being so brilliant. I was really excited to be involved, and I really enjoy
It's
being
gorgeous.
part of this now and feeling like we're trying to make a space where everyone in our community can come together, which is part of what I really enjoy.
It is gorgeous. And it's been here for how many years?
This is our second full year.
It's gorgeous. I love it.
Thank you.
So what's your favorite part or memory of the park?
I really, really love the block parties. We have such great pictures of kids like covered in bubbles or under sprinklers, and just seeing the diversity of our community come to this space. We have babies. My retired veteran neighbor is here. So there's young, there's old, there's all races. And I just feel like it really helps bring people together from different parts of the neighborhood that don't always kind of mesh and mingle otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that. It feels like a real community space. And I have these moments where I'll be at a party and think, I don't know where my kids are. And it doesn't scare me at all.
Doesn't matter.
And it's such a great feeling to be able to live in the city
Yes.
and think like, oh, I know they're fine.
Yes. Pass the Baby is one of my all-time favorite games.
Exactly. Exactly.
So people can just stop by anytime because it's open all the time. If they're interested in finding out more, where do they go?
We have a website. It's 26stgreen.org, so 26street.org. And on our website, you'll see sort of the history of the project. We have information on the plant sale right now for pre-orders, and a list of what we'll be selling for that. When we have upcoming meetings, the dates are there, because we do have general body meetings 4 times a year. They're here as long as the weather is good. So we sit outside in the space while we're talking about the space. We'll have minutes from our meetings are there. And then we do have our calendar there. So you can't reserve the space. Since it's an open community space, we decided we want it to be for everyone.
Right.
But you can let us know that you'd like to have an event here, and we'll put it on our calendar so other people know. So if you want to have a birthday party, we'll put that up there just so other people know. And you have to understand you'll be sharing the space possibly, but hopefully that means nobody else is going to plan a party for the same time, same day. We've hosted yoga and things like that, boot camp classes. So we try to keep all of that on the calendar so people know what's going on.
That's really cool. Well, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it.
Thanks for offering. I'm really excited to share this space with other people.
Great. Well, this is Boots in Baltimore. Come check out 26th Street Green. You've never seen anything like it.